that so when the caliphs show up, they are the next generation, the development of this concept. Someone who's not a religious leader, like the prophet, but who has immense authority because of their association with that person. And so that's I think the best way of answering this. The other thing that's worth mentioning is that there's an argument that the line of Roman forts that you can still see in Jordan today, the so-called limes arabicus, were progressively abandoned in the fourth and fifth centuries, and that the Romans themselves, because they were so locked into fighting in Mesopotamia and the Caucasus against the Persians, didn't really pay a lot of attention to this area. It's therefore been suggested that what the population would have seen in this area in terms of the Roman army were Arab militias like the Japhanids. So again, when the conquerors showed up, how different did they really look from what had already been experienced? And the last thing I'll say about this is the best example of a super militant Christian king is Heraclius, who gets stuck in the life or death struggle with the Persians in the 7th century. And there's a fascinating article by Misha Maya that came out a few years ago about the similarities between Heraclius. It was actually sort of about the development of the Quranic, the link between the early Quran and the Roman Empire, and how to understand the development of Islamic history from this period. And he points out that Heraclius and the Prophet developed notions of jihad and sacrifice at around the same time in 624, and where Heraclius is urging on soldiers to martyr themselves in battle against the Persians. And so there is a definite trend towards militant religious leadership. Heraclius, too, himself, not an ordained individual, but with the authority of the Roman emperor, the empire behind him. So it's a very complex subject, but the Japhanids do look a lot like what comes later.